Hello everyone, this is Zonstar reporting for Atheism TV. If you're interested in my channel, just go to Zonstar, or if you're interested in atheism news, stay right here on Atheism TV. Next up, historians take a second look at the Salem Witch Trials. The witchcraft hysteria, which took over the farming village of Salem back in 1692, has a lot of historians wondering how it could have happened, but a new 35-minute documentary seems to be helping set the historical events in the proper order. According to a Huffington Post report, 5 leading scholars collaborated with the Essex National Heritage Commission, drawing on a recent compendium of close to 1,000 documents from the period. University of Virginia historian Benjamin Ray was quoted as saying, "We finally have a chronology that tells us how it all began. Before we had documents, but we didn't have an orderly sequence. It's hard to give an account of history without a sequence." Next up, were the Oklahoma earthquakes a sign of the end times? Both televangelist Pat Robertson and doomsday pastor Paul Begley offer their followers the same warning. The Oklahoma earthquakes are a biblical sign of the end times. According to Pat Robertson, Jesus Christ said there would be earthquakes in diverse places, and lo and behold, we're seeing an intensity of earthquake activity as the crust of the earth, which is floating all the time, it floats on a sea of magma, so these continents aren't solid. They float and they move, and ladies and gentlemen, that's just one more reason that we need to get ourselves right with the Lord. Yes, that was a quote. Pastor Paul Begley goes even further and claims that the 13 Mayan elders trip across America with their 13 crystal skulls may be partly responsible. He thinks that the Mayans may have angered God and brought on the earthquakes. In Britain, a Muslim cabinet member says the country needs to be more Christian. Baroness Warsi is Britain's only Muslim cabinet member, and she has something to say about the country's religious situation. Writing in the daily newspaper The Telegraph, she says that we need to create a country where people don't feel like they have to leave their religion at the door. This means being proud of Christianity, not downgrading it. She also added, it means encouraging people to say that their faith inspires what they do. It means supporting religious charities and delivering public services in schools, hospices, and rehabilitation. The Member of Parliament is quite unique. She's a practicing lawyer and co-chairman of the Conservative Party, and holds as well a position in Prime Minister David Cameron's cabinet. Born in Yorkshire from Pakistani immigrants, she says her father's business success in Britain is the reason that led her to adopt conservative principles. Next up, evangelical author and psychologist James Dobson claims that God will stop blessing America if its people don't vote right. Asked if his country's best days are a thing of the past, James Dobson answered, "I hate to agree with that, but in some ways, I do." He claimed to be particularly concerned by America's drift away from Christian principles. He warned that should people forget their biblical and scriptural roots, God is under no obligation to bless them like he has in the past. He asks if his countrymen are going to continue to honor God by living appropriately, concluding that today's society is headed for serious trouble. Dobson claims that whenever a country forgets the principles it has been taught in Scripture, it pays a price for it. He concluded by saying, "I see this particular election as absolutely critical. We'll find out pretty quick which direction we're going. And if it keeps going like it has in the past, we will deserve what is going to happen to us."